Caitlin, I'll pay you $50 million just to see if the WNBA can make it without you. Let's go create a complete different league and expose the hell out of the WNBA. Just
she could be like, this WNBA, I'm starting my own league. She'd put that league out of business. It is all Caitlin.
That tweet was you trying to say, like, let's do it together, kind of.
If I could be her agent, she would make 100x what she makes, and we do a lot of things differently.
Buckle up, because the sports world just got hit with a plot twist that's juicier than a reality TV finale. Caitlin Clark, the WNBA's golden goose, might just be ready to ditch the league entirely and start her own empire, all thanks to a jaw-dropping $28 million Nike deal that's got everyone's sneakers in a twist.
The WNBA needs Caitlin Clark more than Caitlin Clark needs the WNBA. If the league will not protect her and allow her to play basketball at the highest level, then she should leave and start a brand new league.
You heard that right. While the WNBA pays her pocket change, Nike's throwing cash at her like she's the second coming of Michael Jordan. But here's the million-dollar question. Is Clark about to take her Mamba mentality, her sold-out Kobe kicks, and her army of fans to build a new league that'll leave the WNBA in the dust? Oh, this is gonna be good.
Caitlin Clark is the golden goose. Every game she is dropping golden eggs, and they are trying to strangle the golden goose to death. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Everyone in the league seems to hate the fact that Caitlin Clark is making the league relevant. So here's what I would say to Caitlin Clark. Start your own pro basketball league for women. I don't know why she benefits from the WNBA at all. She is the draw for women's basketball. And set up her own league, set it up with far fewer teams. You play far fewer games. I think the audience would follow Caitlin Clark wherever she goes.
Let's start with that Nike deal, shall we? In April 2024, Clark inked an 8-year, $28 million contract with the Swoosh Gods, complete with a promise of her own signature shoe that's already being hyped as a $150 million game changer. For context, that's more money than most WNBA teams are worth, and she's still slumming it with a $78,000 salary from the Indiana Fever. Talk about a slap in the face. So naturally, the internet's buzzing with whispers that Clark's had enough. Why stick around in a league that treats her like an intern when Nike's ready to crown her queen? Sources like EssentiallySports are even floating the idea that Nike, with its $33 billion market cap, could bankroll a shiny new Caitlin Clark league.
If I'm Caitlin Clark, I leave the WNBA tonight and I start my own league. Why would she stay in a league that blatantly disrespects her? The league needs her more than she needs them. I find a venture capitalist that's willing to put up the seed money, and I start my own 6-team league. I find 5 other WNBA players that are willing to come with me, and each team is our team, like Caitlin Clark's team, Sophia Cunningham's team, and so on. All the games are played in Vegas. There's no travel expenses. If you want to see Caitlin Clark play basketball, you got to come to Vegas. All the hotels on the Strip would have a bidding war to host those games.
Imagine it. Arenas packed with her fans, jerseys flying off shelves, and Clark calling the shots. Sarcastic clap for the WNBA for lowballing the one player who's single-handedly dragging their viewership out of the dark ages. But why would she even think about leaving? The answer lies in a single chilling ad that turned Clark into a basketball serpent.
Already, I'm pretty sure you have. Nike has released a new Caitlin Clark commercial, and they made it their business to show love and show out for none other than CC.
Nike dropped a trailer for her Kobe V Protro player exclusive sneakers, and let me tell you, it wasn't just an ad, it was a coronation. Picture Clark in a starkly lit room, lacing up those sleek black and gold Kobe 5s, her eyes morphing into snake-like slits as she channels Kobe Bryant's Mamba mentality. The internet lost its collective mind. Those $190 sneakers? Gone in 5 minutes flat on June 30th, 2025. Resale prices shot up to $600 and sneakerheads were crying into their keyboards. Nike didn't just make a commercial, they made a statement. Clark's not just a player, she's a cultural juggernaut. And yet, the haters had the audacity to clutch their pearls. Why's a rookie getting Kobe shine? They whined. Oh please. As if Clark didn't earn it by shattering every record in sight. But that ad was just the spark. Let's talk about the fire she's igniting. If you want proof Clark's too big for the WNBA, just look at the numbers. Her games average 1.09 million viewers, while the rest of the league limps along at 414,000. That's a 163% spike, folks. Her presence boosted WNBA ticket sales by 93% and attendance by 48%.
Caitlin Clark is the biggest draw for a team sport in my life relative to the audience that would be fans of the sport without her. Bigger than Michael Jordan was for the NBA, bigger than any NFL star has ever been. All of those sports were very popular before those athletes got there.
One analysis even pegs her as responsible for 26.5% of the league's economic activity. Her Indiana Fever jersey sold out nationwide before she even played a pro game. Nike took heat for not having enough stock, and now they're scrambling to keep up with her fans. Clark's not just moving the needle, she is the needle. And yet, Nike sat on their hands for a year, acting like she was just another player. Are you kidding me? They had a unicorn in their stable and decided to feed it table scraps. But there's more to this story than just numbers. The backlash to Clark's rise is like a broken record of petty jealousy. Social media is flooded with the same tired gripes. She's overhyped. What about Aja Wilson? She hasn't earned it. Yawn? These aren't critiques. They're tantrums from gatekeepers who can't handle a 23-year-old rewriting the rules. Critics act like her 1.29 million All-Star votes in 2025, more than anyone in WNBA history, fell from the sky. They're mad because she's not playing by their script, where rookies are supposed to wait their turn. Meanwhile, Clark's out here selling out arenas and crashing Nike's SNKRS app. The haters can scream into the void all they want, but the market's already made its choice. And what's got them really pressed? Nike's internal drama that almost fumbled this whole thing. Here's where it gets messy. Nike's been dragging its feet on Clark's stardom, and a 15-year veteran of the company, Jordan Rogers, spilled the tea. He called him out for slow playing the single biggest needle mover since Michael Jordan. Nike was so scared of stepping into the cultural minefield around Clark think divisive pundits and race-baiting nonsense that they hesitated to go all in. They pushed Aja Wilson's signature line while Clark got sidelined, sparking rumors of a manufactured rivalry. Wilson even admitted she knew about her own shoe deal for 2 years while Clark's camp was left in the dark. Nike was playing it safe, terrified of picking a side in a debate that doesn't even exist. But then they woke up, dropped that Mamba ad and said, "Fine, let's win." And win they did. But there's a deeper story here. That Kobe connection is not just marketing fluff. Clark's been rocking Kobe sneakers since her Iowa days, calling them her magic shoes. The Nike ad wasn't just a flex, it was a nod to a shared obsession with greatness. Kobe was a fierce advocate for women's basketball, mentoring stars like Sabrina Ionescu. He'd have seen Clark's killer instinct and said, "That's my people." The ad's serpent imagery was a spiritual handoff, a signal that Clark's carrying the Mamba torch. Critics who call it a gimmick clearly never watched her drain logo threes with the same swagger Kobe brought to the court. But this is bigger than one ad or one shoe drop. It's about what Clark's doing to the entire game. Her $28 million deal isn't just a paycheck. It's a sledgehammer smashing decades of sports marketing dogma. For too long, women's basketball was treated like the JV squad, handed budget ads, and second-rate deals. Clark's forcing everyone to rethink that. Her Nike contract has Adidas, Under Armour, and Reebok, who snagged Angel Reese, scrambling to keep up. She's not just raising the bar for WNBA salaries, she's rewriting the entire playbook. Brands from Gatorade to State Farm are pouring money into her, and local economies are cashing in when she rolls into town. Hotels, restaurants, you name it, they're calling it the Caitlin Clark stimulus package. And that signature shoe dropping in 2026? Experts say it could rival Air Jordan's $100 million first-year haul. So why did Nike hesitate? Because Clark's not just a player, she's a cultural lightning rod, and they were scared of getting zapped. Let's talk about that firestorm. Clark's been thrust into a cultural debate she didn't ask for, with pundits using her name to stir up nonsense. Nike, a company that usually dodges controversy like it's a bad stock tip, got spooked. They worried backing Clark too hard would alienate someone, somewhere. But the numbers don't lie, and the fans don't either. Her 2024 NCAA championship game drew 18.9 million viewers, crushing the men's final. Her WNBA games are pulling numbers the league hasn't seen in 24 years. Nike finally realized they couldn't win the culture war, so they chose to win the market. And now, with her Kobe PE selling out and her signature logo dropping this holiday, they're all in. But here's the kicker. What if Clark's just getting started? So back to that wild rumor about her own league. Is it crazy? Sure. But when you're pulling in $28 million from Nike, selling out sneakers in 5 minutes, and driving a third of the WNBA's economy, maybe it's not that crazy. Picture Clark, fed up with a league that pays her less than a backup point guard, teaming up with Nike to build something new. A league where players get what they're worth, where arenas are packed, and where she's not just a star, but the architect. The WNBA's fumbling her value, and Nike's got the cash to make it happen. Will she do it? Who knows? But one thing's clear. Caitlin Clark's not just playing the game, she's rewriting it. But wait, there's more to this train wreck than meets the eye. While everyone's busy arguing about whether Clark deserves her spotlight, they're missing the bigger picture. The WNBA has been desperately trying to stay relevant for decades, bouncing between TV networks like a hot potato nobody wants to catch. Then Clark shows up and suddenly ESPN's throwing primetime slots at women's basketball like confetti at a championship parade. The league's been surviving on life support, propped up by the NBA's charity checks, and now they have their golden ticket sitting right in front of them. What do? They hand her a salary that wouldn't cover a decent car payment and act surprised when she starts eyeing the exit. The irony is delicious. WNBA executives spend their days in boardrooms complaining about lack of media coverage, empty arenas, and corporate sponsors who treat them like an afterthought. Then God himself delivers them a walking, talking, three-point shooting miracle who can single-handedly solve all their problems, and they treat her like she's lucky to be there. It's like being handed a winning lottery ticket and complaining about the paper cut from opening the envelope. Clark's not just bringing eyeballs to the league, she's bringing generational wealth potential. And the WNBA's response has been to pat her on the head and tell her to wait her turn like a good little rookie. Meanwhile, Nike's boardroom meetings must be pure comedy gold. Picture this. A room full of executives in expensive suits scrambling to explain how they almost let the biggest marketing goldmine since Jordan slip through their fingers. They're probably commissioning PowerPoint presentations titled, "How We Almost Fumbled the Bag," a case study in corporate incompetence. The woman is literally printing money for everyone she touches, from ticket vendors to merchandise suppliers, and Nike's marketing team was sitting there twiddling their thumbs for months. It's like watching someone discover oil in their backyard and deciding to plant flowers instead. The real tragedy here is that Clark's situation exposes everything wrong with professional women's sports. The structure is so backwards that a player can generate more revenue than entire franchises while making less money than a decent middle manager. She's filling arenas that haven't seen those crowds in decades, crashing websites with demand for her jerseys, and creating a cultural phenomenon that transcends basketball. Yet, the league's salary structure treats her like she should be grateful for the opportunity to lose money playing professional sports. It's a business model that would make a lemonade stand owner blush with embarrassment. And let's be real about the competition aspect. The WNBA has spent years trying to build rivalries and storylines to capture public attention. They've manufactured drama, pushed narratives, and desperately tried to create must-see TV moments. Then Clark arrives and becomes must-see TV just by existing. She doesn't need manufactured beef or scripted storylines because her game speaks louder than any marketing campaign ever could. Every time she steps on the court, she's appointment television. Every shot she takes becomes a potential highlight reel moment. The league finally has their transcendent star, and their response has been to treat her like she's interchangeable with every other player on the roster. The international implications are even more fascinating. Women's basketball leagues around the world are probably drafting recruitment letters to Clark as we speak. The European leagues, flush with oil, money, and willing to pay premium prices for marquee talent, must be salivating at the thought of poaching the WNBA's biggest star. Imagine Clark taking her talents to a league that actually appreciates her market value, leaving the WNBA to explain to sponsors why their golden goose flew the coop. It would be the ultimate corporate facepalm moment, a business school case study in how to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. But here's where it gets really interesting. Clark's potential departure wouldn't just hurt the WNBA's bottom line, it would expose the league's fundamental inability to recognize and capitalize on greatness. She's not just another talented player hoping for a break. She's a cultural phenomenon who happened to choose basketball as her medium. The WNBA treating her like any other rookie is like a record label giving Taylor Swift a development deal and wondering why she's not grateful for the opportunity. It's a fundamental misunderstanding of what they're dealing with. The dominoes are already falling in ways the league probably didn't anticipate. Clark's Nike deal has reset the market for women's basketball endorsements across the board. Other players are now demanding better contracts, pointing to her deal as proof that the money exists. Sponsors are reevaluating their partnerships with teams and players, realizing they might have been undervaluing the entire sport. The WNBA inadvertently created a monster by lowballing their biggest star, and now that monster is teaching everyone else in the league what they're actually worth. So what's Clark's next move? The smart money says she's already had conversations with Nike about alternatives to the current system. Why settle for being underpaid in a league that treats her like a commodity when she could be the centerpiece of something revolutionary? The technology exists to create a new league from scratch, complete with streaming partnerships, international expansion, and salary structures that actually reflect player value. Clark doesn't need the WNBA's permission to be great, she just needs the platform to showcase it. The ultimate irony is that the WNBA's conservative approach to Clark might end up costing them everything they've worked to build. They played it safe with their most dangerous weapon, and now they might watch her take that weapon somewhere else. It's a masterclass in how to fumble generational talent, a cautionary tale about the dangers of treating revolutionary players like ordinary ones. Clark's not just leaving money on the table, she's potentially leaving an entire league in the dust. And honestly, they probably deserve it. What's her next move? Drop your thoughts below, because this story's far from over.